the excavation.
Okay, YouTube version starting early. We're going to start the podcast here in about 10 minutes, but this stream is going live right now.
Hammer is 100 million years ago, and at that time they were like, well, this is when we thought dinosaurs and shit were, and we didn't think there was humans at that time, you know.
Right.
And but you know, there's also this huge speculation, and there's
What number are we on, Austin?
193.
193. Wow. Dude, you ever heard of the Antikythera mechanism?
I think I'm sitting on one.
It's like they call it the world's oldest computer.
But now there's speculation, and this is documented in a lot of old texts.
192.
We're on 92?
Yeah.
192.
Last week was the pink moon, right?
Yes, it was. The super pink moon. And
You know who I think of when I think of the super pink moon? Belladonna.
Belladonna. Now, even when they refer in our Bible as the war in the heavens,
Mm-hmm.
they were talking about, or there was speculation that they were talking about the war between Mars and the asteroid belt was an actual planet.
Right.
Now, there has been scientific fact checked that they believe that 2 huge nuclear weapons were detonated on Mars, and that these weapons came from outer space, like down, and was detonated on the surface of Mars. And at the same time, the speculation is that the other planet was destroyed.
Yeah.
And so that these people are now us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We're going to do it all over
both.
again.
So that's like an Earth 2 type thing? Is that how the asteroid belt
Or it
supposedly
would be
got?
Mars too, right? Or whatever that asteroid belt planet. Because see, that's another thing too. Is
And so, dude, that's why the UFOs start coming down here and shutting down their nuclear devices and being like, chill the fuck out.
now this is going to sound really racist, but I mean, race really is an evolution. A lot of people speculate that
It's
race
just
is
melatonin in the
evolution.
skin.
But what I'm saying is, there are differences. You know what I mean?
Between
It
the
did,
grays?
it just didn't happen because, oh, they were down closer to the equator, so these people, their hair kinked up and they got darker of color, or they're Eskimos not Eskimos, the Native American people or Native Indigenous people of Alaska as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, all the different races.
You know what the Greys do? They put ketchup on their cottage cheese.
That's bogus, man.
Dude, how about this? Let me run this by you. I think the Earth is a hollow spaceship. And you know what? If you go back like thousands and thousands of years, there was a time when nobody even talked about a moon being there. So
You saying the moon or the Earth? Because you
The
just
moon.
said the Earth is a hollow spaceship.
no, the moon is,
I do
is
agree
a hollow
that the
spaceship.
moon possibly
Yeah.
may be a satellite.
Yeah. Because it's like the most unique thing in the solar system.
Well, I watch Ancient Aliens a lot, and of course we talk about Oumuamua, that came through in 2017, the big cigar-like.
Yeah, I was just reading news about that today. They said it could have been a part of a chipped planet.
Well,
I read that too.
a lot of people was also speculating that it could have been a ship inside that, and if you go back
Yeah.
in history, that there's a lot of sightings of cigar-shaped ships.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
for
wish
sure.
I would have paid more attention to where it was. But there was 2 fighter pilots, and they were of this country's army. I think it might have been Iran or Israel, someplace over in there. And they actually, this is the report of the biggest ever UFO. They say they seen a UFO that was a cigar shaped. It was covered by like a cloud cover, like almost. And that it was a 10 aircraft carriers long.
Wow.
And I mean, if you
Why
put
not
that,
bigger?
45 seconds, gentlemen.
sounds like a plan, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more and quit. You can run on for a long time.
You got that ready?
Uh-uh.
Why not?
Because usually you do it.
Why not?
I can get it done. Okay. Oh, no, I can't. You never put it back in my computer. I'm sorry.
I'll just start it now.
One job. One job.
Right?
Yeah.
What fucking job?
15 seconds. 10.
You can run on for a long time.
Going live in 5, 4, 3.
Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. 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 Go and tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, Jay, go do my will. Go and tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time.
Bit too much me and not enough of you.
For a long time.
Oh, that's what it should be, baby.
Gotta put you down. You may throw your rock and hide your hand, working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as
that's
God made
nuts.
black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
You
Go
guys
and
are
tell that
advertising my
long-tongued
soul.
liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna put you down. Tell him that God's gonna put you down. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Yo. Never touch this, it's just too much substance. I broke through the chains that away with the cufflinks. You can make a scene, but to me, it's nothing. You never match with a breakthrough in fashion. I'll re-stitch the fabric and bring it back surely. Seen you on the shore, you repping the wrong jersey. Nah, I mean, they on the wrong team. Paper chaser screaming out cream. Well, deliver us, you know I ain't giving up. They just wanna live it up on scratch offs and $50. Praise to the silly luck, I gotta keep it 100. Run it, clean how I done it, did it. I operate like City Hall, gotta put my city on. Didn't fit the first time, but I've been growing into it. They all getting giddy gone, it's going to say I pity y'all. I'm too busy nodding, rather not respond to kitty calls. Y'all can get your quickie on. Watch what you slipping on, girl, what you sipping on. Dog, what you walking about. I'd rather be penniless, making plenty sense. You living in a glass house, high rent, solo. I do it on my own, no YOLO. I never get cut, Kodo for sure though. Pardon me, my God, I'm calling on them all. Can't stall, I gotta tell them all. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. 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 Go and tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Tell him that God's gonna cut you down. Peace.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Loft of Dreams apartment, this is the Moon Club Podcast with AJ and MJ and Steve. This episode of the Moon Club Podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Allen, Bloomington. I fucked it up.
Did it again.
Yeah.
Take from the top.
All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Loft of Dreams apartment, this is the Moon Club Podcast with AJ and MJ and Steve. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon, no subject will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club Podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington Normal's premier realtor for the Jewett home selling team at RE/MAX Rise Again. I want to be your realtor, and I'm going to out-hustle everybody all day, every day, and then double up on Sunday to prove it.
You do that.
Dude, it's like, I understand why you can mess it up. You're spitting a lot of words there.
Well, and he threw my name in there too,
Right.
so it kind of changes. Something
It's
you've
like-
been doing for so long.
And you notice he was like,
Muscle
MJ,
memory.
AJ, Steve.
Well, that's the way it comes. You know, that's the way we do it.
Your third chair.
Hey, that's all right. I don't mind.
What's up, Randy Boy, Minnie Sue?
Okay, we're currently
Three-wheel motion.
We're currently in the Loft of Dreams, probably forever until the studio gets fixed. Good evening, you lovely lunatics.
It's the state of the moon, brother.
Stay in the moon, tis. It is currently currently 6:04 p.m. Tuesday, April 14th, our sister's birthday, 2020.
Happy birthday.
Rest in peace, Colin.
Right. It came up.
Love you.
The moon came up
What's up, Joe?
2:06 a.m. and it's gonna go down 11:13 a.m. It is currently it's in the last quarter. It is 50% illuminated. It is 223,000 kilometers away from us. It's 22 days old, and it's in the sign of Capricorn.
Look at what? Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Okay.
I love those Capricorns. You know those little candies that you get on Halloween?
Ooh, I love
No, those are candy
Capricorns.
corns.
Candy corn.
But no, it is really cool. It's only 50% illuminated, so it looks like somebody cut it in half.
That's
It's a
awesome.
sword.
That is cool.
Didn't
Go out and look at the moon, you fucks.
the fuck out there and see that fucking moon?
Oh, you can wait until after the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I hope everyone enjoyed the super pink moon, last
Right.
week.
Yeah.
Or as we like to refer to it as belladonna.
I know, I sure did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, exactly. I mean, you put pink in it, I'm there. I love it.
And when I say belladonna, I'm talking about the flowers that are coming up right at that time.
I knew
If
that.
You know
What
what
else
I'm
were you
saying.
talking about?
Belladonna's flower.
Exactly.
Got a birthmark on her butt that looks like the state of Florida.
I thought it was Texas.
Belladonna.
No.
No, well, it sometimes shifts. I think she needs to get it looked at. It
Yeah.
may be cancerous. Speaking of that, if you do have any birthmarks, we do recommend that you get them looked at and checked quite frequently.
We can take a look.
What you can do is you can draw a circle around them. If they expand past that circle, you know you might have a problem. Yeah, and again, I am not a doctor, but I will take a look.
Mindy Sue says Stevie Nicks' solo album, Belladonna.
Okay,
There you
okay.
go.
That's what I was talking about.
Of course.
And a couple weeks ago, I made a comment of Stevie Nicks, and I would like to rescind that comment and say that she is a great talent.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite female singer.
Did you besmirch Stevie Nicks on the podcast? Because that would be very bad for me.
Yeah,
Well-
it would be good.
We're not going to say when, where, or where, so whoever would have to go back and watch the podcast
Okay.
in full effect. But again,
Oh,
that
no, but
was
you-
rescinded,
Let's hear
and it
your
was again
impersonation
nothing
again.
bad.
Remember that? What was?
Well, that was it, kind of, Austin.
Okay,
but we're not
okay.
talking about
Alright.
that.
All right, so the weekly Jason Silva is called "What Is Creativity," and we've done this one before. And Mindy says she remembers it anyway, so apparently I just forgot, but that's okay.
That's why we're here.
Now we've done this one before, but it's got such a cool message and such good visuals that we wanted to do it again. Here we go.
That's because we're tripping.
Jason Silva, what is creativity? A great artist is but a conduit for the expression that resonates within someone that is greater than him or herself.
There are people who talk about the creative process with such humility. You know, there's a sense that something larger than yourself has worked its way through you. You know, to paraphrase Khalil Gibran's notion about children, the creative process, creativity comes through you, but not from you. Though it is with you, it belongs not to you, right? You know, this notion that we are the frontal lobes of the universe. And so when we craft beauty, when we vocalize, when we utter inspiration, what are we actually doing? Are we creating something that isn't there? Or are we merely transcribing, right? The notion of inspiration means we're breathing in and exhaling what we've taken in. So we're merely transcribing the observation of what is. We're reporting. We are all cosmonauts, psychonauts, and the creative process is merely what we brought back as reporters of the numinous. When we go to Plato's realm of ideals, we are as navigators. We are as Dorothy going to Oz, seeing the world through a different lens, seeing reality through a different operating system, a different set of filters, and thus being able to read differently, to see something that others can't, and then bring that back, and then share that back. And I think that that's what's happening during creativity. I think that that's why we should be humble about it. Respect the gods. There's poetry in every moment.
That's a great one, right?
Yeah, there's poetry in every moment.
I'm gonna rewatch that again tonight because that's mind blowing.
Yeah, he was dialed in on that one.
I don't even know where to start on that one. I'll just tell people, look, if you like that kind of stuff and that kind of, I call it like
Inspiration.
mind candy.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
food for thought, stuff to think about. Check out Shots of Awe on YouTube. He's got a whole channel. He's got hundreds of videos
Yeah.
like that. And
And you can focus for 2.5 minutes.
I'm a
You
fan
can do
of
it.
his. Yeah, well, now he's getting into longer form, but at first, you know, like the Shots of Awe were all supposed to be 2-minute. We
Yeah.
call them 2-minute shots of philosophical espresso,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is, he's just a wordsmith, right?
Yeah, he is.
Joe Rogan. Okay, I've been a fan of his since I saw him on the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know, years ago. I don't know how long ago.
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan called him a cosmic dick slinger.
Yeah, he is. He definitely
Right?
is.
That guy's getting laid.
Was it
A lot.
What made him popular? Was he one of the people that helped the guy out with that film An Inconvenient Truth?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, well I
I
think he was
could
a
be
part of
wrong.
a network
I-
that he
I-
tried to start or something.
Like I said, I found out about him on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast years ago, and then he hosted
Brain Games.
a National Geographic show called Brain Games, but and he's good at that, but that's not, to me, that's not the Jason Silva I want to see.
But
Right?
still an excellent show.
Oh, and I watched it all. Me and Cassie
Yeah.
watched it all. I made her watch all of them because I
Yeah.
thought it was great. But he's better when he's just like free flowing in his,
Yeah.
you know.
Cosmic Dick Slinger. He's kind of like a rapper, kind of like all of us.
Smokes a lot of weed and does a lot of hallucinogens. I'm gonna
Right.
just
He's an enlightened soul. I bet he's done ayahuasca.
Yeah, I agree.
Julie
DMT.
Owens is watching, Aaron Peterson, Ann Chamberlain Campbell,
But-
Angela Mason, Rick LaHue, Shannon Lockhart, Michelle Lee Griffin, and Kate Kessler. What's up, people?
What's
If I missed
up,
anybody,
people?
I apologize.
all you lunatics
What's
I apologize.
Marla was watching. That's who Kazuki O is.
locked up on the COV-19. We're glad that you're watching and taking time out of your not so busy schedule to do that. One thing I took away from that, and you know, creativity is grand and that's great. But if you take a step back, and if you look at everything that was created not by us,
What's up, James?
but
Edelman?
by a higher level, like there's beauty all around you. You just have to see it. And natural beauty, whether it be in flowers or babies born or small animals, or you know a naked woman's body or what have you, just that beauty and the creativity that has flown through the universe in that magnitude. You know, looking through your telescope at the universe and all the different colors and all the stars and just the vastness, and know that we did not have a hand in creating that, but something greater than ourselves did,
Right.
and that is truly beautiful.
The
You know what
Hubble
I
deep
mean?
field pictures kind
Yeah.
of make me feel that.
So
You
you were
see
talking
the
about
pillars
having
of
beauty and everything, and I had to go back. I had to figure out what this guy's name was, but Lex Friedman was on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and he's some kind of like philosophical deep thinker too, but he's also like, I think, an infectious disease expert. But he was saying, like, if it wasn't so deadly, I would think the coronavirus was beautiful.
yeah,
Like just the way that it reacts and that everything that it does.
yeah.
Like, so yeah, there's
I-
beauty in everything.
Well, I believe that that's man-made, so I take the nature's beauty out of that, but I do agree. And, you know, at the end of that, it said something about thanking the gods, and I'm not discrediting any gods or anybody's belief in any religion. You know, that is one thing that, you know, I don't even know, citizens of the earth,
What's up, Justin Zimmerman?
you're able to, you know, pick and choose whatever that
Ron
you
Peterson.
want, and
Right.
and whatever you believe in is one thing.
Bobby
I
Babcock.
consider myself a spiritual person, not necessarily religious, but I do believe in our spiritual energy, and that's why I believe in giving, you know, good karma, good energy out, and hopefully take good
Right.
energy
Put
in.
it out there in the universe. Out with the
Exactly.
good
You know,
and with the bad.
I
No,
think if I
out
was
with
to
the
go
bad
back
and
to-
with the good.
If I was to go back to school right now, I would probably study biology, because right now it's like we're being given tremendous amounts of power with like CRISPR and Cas9 and just biological evolution. And what if this is a 12 Monkeys scenario that we're going through right now? I mean, people are being given tremendous power, and some people are evil.
Harlan Fuller, my accountant's watching. What's up, Harlan?
Well, you know, a lot of people think that this is just a step in our evolution, and that
Yeah.
those people that do survive this are just that much further evolved. So I mean,
it's the caterpillars turning into the
only the
butterfly,
strong will survive.
shedding or growing into our beautiful wings.
Maybe the person that released this loves humanity and is trying to
Daga
save it.
Dave.
What's up, Daga Dave?
Actually, I think the person that, and again, I don't know. This is just my speculation, but the person that released it and or created it, I think that they really didn't have a choice. I think that they might have been part of a communist regime that it's either you do that or, we'll find someone else to do it and you'll just cease to exist.
Right.
You
All
know?
right.
You'll never leave this room.
Yeah. So
All right.
I don't blame that
Fuck
person.
it, I'll do it.
I blame the world that makes that person do it.
Right.
And then again, it could just been some crazy person, because I don't know. It could just been some crazy person from birth that said, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do."
And he's just a guy. And he's
Yeah.
just a guy.
He's
and he's just a guy.
just a guy. Good segue.
Hey, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that yet. But I was just gonna say, like, as far as this coronavirus goes, like, I'm holding up all right, right? Like, fuck, man, I'm all right. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh, that was my.
You may be losing it just a little bit,
Maybe.
but it would be a quarantine with Austin that may drive anyone to that point.
So you spoke of quarantine, right?
Daga Dave said,
I
"Yo,
got
cuz."
this idea that 9 months from now, there's gonna be this boom of babies being born, right?
Yeah.
And these babies
Definitely.
in 13 years from 2000 or from 2021, so in 2034 they will hit teenage years, right? So they will then become known as
The Corona generation.
the quarantines.
The
Quarantine
That
babies?
is our next generation after the millennials is the quarantine.
Is this your theory or is,
Quarantine baby.
did somebody else come up
He's
with this?
putting it
Fine,
out there.
it's fine.
Dude, that's
Hashtag
good. That's
quarantine
good.
babies.
So, I think the end of the millennial generation will be marked by the
Heard it
next
here
baby
first.
boom, and I want to make sure that we don't miss the opportunity to call that generation the quarantine.
And can we go ahead and put a patent pending or trademark on that right now?
Yeah, we should. We should. All right,
No.
so go ahead.
So it's like, I bet there's like 100 years between the baby boomers and the quarantiners. Because I think the baby boomers were born like because of some big blackout, like electricity blackout during like 19...
You know damn good and well it was a Great Depression.
Was it the Great Depression? And everybody was
Trying to
fucking?
seem smart. I don't know.
Alright.
You know,
should
damn
know. I
well.
definitely should know.
Echo.
You know
What
damn
about
good
the
and well
baby
what happened was a gas shortage. Everybody had no gas.
Echo. Why did the baby boomers happen?
Did you?
Here's something I found on the web. According to hubpages.com, baby boomers were the aftermath of World War II.
Okay.
So who was right?
No, depression
No.
was in the
Okay.
20s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
World War II was.
I can't believe you tried to claim that one.
I couldn't remember what I said.
He was close. He was close. And thank you to our sponsor, Whiskey.
Randy Boyd goes, duh.
Durr.
All right, so check
It's
this out.
actually Durr. Thank
And
you.
And James Edelman says the COVID-19 babies.
Yeah.
COVID.
Not,
James
I'm
is
sorry,
joke.
James, but not as good as the quarantines.
No, quarantine
Quarantines,
babies.
It's not as good.
Quarantine.
QBs.
All right, so in response to all these people that are out there getting offended at the virus being called the Chinese virus, and I've got this Bill Maher. It's going to be probably about 2 minutes long, but I think his take on it is great,
Yeah.
and I like Bill Maher, whatever, however the fuck you say it, because he's definitely a left-wing guy, but when he sees the shit coming from the left
Yeah.
wing, he calls it out.
Dude,
He's rational.
Dude,
He's
he's
rational.
defending Trump here right now.
Well, we'll see.
Well, he's just
We'll
rational.
see.
It's like people are like,
New
the
rule,
Chinese.
you
No,
can't yell
not
at
in my
someone
fucking
for breaking
country.
a rule
What
you
the,
just
what
made
the
up.
fuck did he just say?
Scientists, yes, scientists who are generally pretty liberal, have been naming diseases after the places they came from for a very long time. Zika is from the Zika forest. Ebola from the Ebola River. Hantavirus, the Hantan River. There's the West Nile virus and guinea worm and Rocky Mountain spotted fever and, of course, the Spanish flu. MERS stands for Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome. It's plastered all over airports and no one blogs about it. So why should China get a pass? Congressman Ted Lieu tweeted, "The virus is not constrained by country or race. Be just as stupid to call it the Milan virus." No, that would be way stupider because it didn't come from Milan. And if it did, I guarantee we'd be calling it the Milan virus. Jesus fucking Christ, can't we even have a pandemic without
I
getting
almost see that guy
offended?
doing the impersonation of him.
When they named Lyme disease after a town in
You know what I'm saying?
Connecticut, the locals didn't get all ticked off. ticked off.
But bump. See what he did
See
there?
what he did there?
Seriously,
Dude, I
it
think
scares me. There's
that
there
guy
are
doing the
people out there who would
impersonation of
rather
him.
die from the virus than call it by the wrong name. This isn't about vilifying a culture. This is about facts. This is about life and death.
It's like, so he's kind of
We're
agreeing
barely
with Trump.
4 months into this pandemic.
All right. So anyway, I thought that was pretty good because he
Right.
is known as being a left or a
Oh, very
progressive
left,
guy.
yeah, very left, yeah.
Well, I think what it really comes down to is like, again, the Chinese Communist government, they don't like, Winnie the Pooh has been banished from China because somebody said that the president or their leader or whatever looked like Winnie the Pooh.
He's also been banished from this household, and we don't have to get into that, but
We don't have to right now, Pooh. But anyhow, so he just hates anything that's against China. So they don't want to look bad. So
Winnie the Pooh and Frank Short.
and just like the NBA, they wanted to walk on eggshells.
But the
because
Supreme
all the
Leader
money-
is welcome here if he does want to
Yeah,
come
I
onto
get
the
your point,
podcast.
Steve.
all the money in China. You know what I mean? So it's
Dude, would
just
you like to have the
ridiculous.
Supreme Leader on the podcast? That could be like our
Here's
top
the
five.
thing. Let me go back
Talk
to what
to
Steve
Dennis
was saying
Rodman.
because everybody's like up in arms about Russia, like Russia. We should not be worried about Russia at all.
Russia.
We should be worried about the fucking Chinese. They
Yeah.
have been playing a long game with us for a long time, and they're very patient. And guess what? They've got a fucking army of millions.
Yeah. You know what? They don't really need an army. It's not going to be a war fought like that.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's going to be like a McLean County sheriff with two Chinese businessmen wearing suits, saying that, okay, now they own your shit. That's how
Right.
it's going to be. That's going to be done
Hey,
smart.
listen, I hope that there's never another world war. I mean, that's
Right.
that's a horrible situation. I don't want to go through it. I don't want my kids to go through it.
No.
I don't want anyone to have to go through it.
Hopefully, we'll
But-
all just say F it before that happens.
If there's anybody that we have to worry about, it's the fucking Chinese.
You know,
like, look at what the NBA, they kowtowed to them because they've got
Right.
billions of people and they did
Billions
want
of
to lose their
dollars.
revenue.
You know what? Obama
Right.
just got back from China recently, and I thought it was cool that he was a president for 8 years, and he finally got to meet the owners.
But bump.
But,
Hey.
Oh!
specializing in derailing conversations.
That's what I'm good at.
And by the way,
What's
on
up,
another
Todd?
note,
Camilla Roberts.
what up, Camilla?
Where else can we go? I've got this video that this says COVID-19, and I don't remember exactly what it's about. Let's just watch it.
Sounds like a good plan.
Echo.
Oh, this is the.
How much for some of your bath water?
This is the Louisiana pastor that is out of his fucking mind.
Right.
This guy needs to be taken off the streets.
Well, there was quite a few pastors that had
What
Easter
about the
service
percentage
going
of
on,
people who
correct?
don't survive then? Whatever that percentage is, what would you say if in the future one of your parishioners did die of coronavirus having come to one of your services? Would you say feel like you have blood in your hands?
Oh,
or
dude, that's
not?
a kid from Lucky Number 11.
No, yea, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil, for God is with us. Then he said, fear not, for I am with you. And then the Bible teaches us to be absent from our bodies is to be present with the Lord. So like any revolutionary or like any zealot,
I'm going to cut
or
him
like
off now.
any
Because
pure
I
religious
swear to
person,
God, if anybody talks like that, run from that person.
You
Yeah,
gotta
right,
cut
right.
off crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta cut off crazy.
That is absolute madness.
Yeah. You know, when people start quoting scripture, unless I'm appreciating what's being said, like if I think it's poison, it's like I'll flip it. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, there's religion and then there's science.
yeah.
Well,
and there's definitely separation between that, and there should be.
I agree with what you were saying earlier, is that I'm not a religious person. I consider myself an agnostic. I leave open the idea or the possibility that there's a God. I just don't see any proof.
Right.
But those people that have a deep faith, like you said, I don't shit on anybody. Like, none of us know what the fuck is going to happen
Whatever it
after we
takes to
die.
get you through.
And if anybody says they know what's going to happen after we die, you better probably avoid that person because they're
Right.
full of shit.
Right. But no, it's like the true Christian or the true Catholic. It's like I really respect their conviction and their beliefs, and I think it's beautiful. But
well, even people that have died and come back, they talk about, you know, not being a physical realm like this anymore, about being energy. And that's why I say when you put out positive energy, that's
Right.
just part of your essence, part of your soul. And I do
Yeah.
believe that
Yeah.
our soul is electric and it can be eternal. And where we go from here and what type of consciousness we have, like you said, who knows? But I'm open to it.
I think
you know?
Right.
that power of prayer might be like the collective unconscious. Like when you put good energy out in the universe towards somebody, like Steve's mom in the hospital, we like
Yeah.
want to push
Thank
as
you.
much good
Thank
energy out there as we can. Like I think
or you can call it intention, maybe.
it may not be God, maybe it is. I don't know.
Right.
But I think it's just an unconscious collective that we all are part of. That
You know, I think
We
when we
can't
focus
access.
our intention, beautiful things happen. And you won your guitar. We've got probably, we could talk about different examples of how we focus our attention on it and we bring that into our life. That's one of the most powerful things in the world. You know?
Renee Morgan's watching. What's up, Renee?
Well, I think one thing that we can all speak on is we all could be doing a lot worse than we are.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and if we did fall into the trap of woe me all the time, then
This would be a great segue for
you,
that Bill
you could
Burr bit
definitely
about
get
how we
into that. So
all had 2 months off. Like that's where we're gonna look at back at it like years from now.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely crazy out there. This is unprecedented time, and like you said, I don't knock anybody. What you got to do to get through, do it. You know, if that gives you strength to every day get out of bed and say, hey, I'm gonna push forward because this is God's plan for me, then
Right.
then I'm with you.
Yeah,
But-
who am I to
you know,
shit on that?
no,
That's,
right.
no,
that's
no.
what your whole life experience has taught you to believe. So,
But
my
definitely
life
don't go
experience has
ass
just
to
been
mouth
different.
for the at least like the next 29 days.
No more
Public service
centipeding
announcement.
for a little bit, and
That's
is
a
good
PSA,
public
please,
service,
people.
But
No ass to mouth
my
for the next
take on
30
religion,
days.
and,
Just to
and
be safe.
This is just again my take, and you guys may not feel the same, and I'm not trying to push it on anybody. But the way we view religion, and the way we view God, we're so worried about what's here on earth, and I think it's just so much bigger than
Right.
that. And that if you focus on this, and a lot of people do because this is what we know,
Yeah.
then you're just pigeonholing yourself,
Right.
and you're not even open
And dude,
to
we're
the
just-
possibilities of what really is and what could be for you.
We're just in the simplest sense here on this earth as 5 senses and the interpretation of our brain of those 5 senses. It's like it's so much bigger than that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the deepest thing Austin's just said.
I think Everlast said it best when he said, "What if God is real, but religion's just one big lie?"
Yeah.
That's true. Or Tupac said it best when we're in hell already, we just don't know it.
It could be.
Yeah.
This could
Or
be
maybe
now.
this is a vacation. It's like
Yeah.
I think we're
There's
probably
something better for us all out here is basically what that means. This is the hard part, the trial and tribulations. I mean, that's the way I interpret it.
right.
And then moving forward is only better. So.
Okay, Steve, I don't know if I've ever run this past you, but it seems like a lot of physics discoveries of like the past like 10 years, including like CERN and the Hadron Collider, it seems like everything seems to be pointing is that we are living in a simulation. And if we are, we're not going to be living in just one. We're going to be living in millions simultaneously because we're not going to run one simulation.
Well, the one thing you got to understand is if you're in a simulation, then the past, present, and future have already happened.
Right. Yes.
See what I'm
Yes.
saying?
It's,
And so the thing is, it'd be like a loop.
yeah.
And the only thing
A
is
nested
during
loop.
that simulation, things could change. But now there are scientists that believe that in the fabric of the universe that they have found our computer code,
Yeah.
which backs
What's
up
his name?
the whole
Which one?
idea
The guy that found the computer
of
code.
the fact in the
I don't know.
in the fabric of the
The
universe.
black guy looks like Frederick Douglass.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Tyson
No,
Grass, no.
that's
Neil
not Neil
deGrasse
deGrasse Tyson.
Fry. It's not Fry. Fuck it, I don't know.
But
fucking
anyway, this
Fry.
guy found a self-replicating computer fixing code in the fabric of the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just
It's actually called an error correction code.
Yeah.
Because we do the same thing with computers. Like if you think of a bit of information, it's eight characters long. And it's either a 0 or a 1, right?
Yeah.
So if you add up the ones, 1, 2, like however many one, like 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, there'd be 4 ones, right? So if that's an even number, like so we include a 9th bit. If that's an even number, we put a 1 in that digit.
But
in
it's
that- in
Dr.
that
Watts,
code,
right?
Or if it's
Is it
yeah, it's
Dr.
Watts.
Stephen Watts or Alan Watts?
If it's an odd number, we put a 0 in that.
Right,
last
right.
place. And if it's off, then you missed something.
Right.
Because a 1 or a 0 electronically is the presence of electricity or the absence of electricity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a presence was sent but it wasn't detected, that would show up as a 0.
Yeah.
You'd be off by 1. So that's what that error correcting code.
So,
I probably did a shitty job of
with
explaining that.
with the 1s and 0s and the negative and positive pulses of the we're using quantum computers now, and I know they're working up to where a quantum computer, we've actually reached quantum supremacy, where a quantum computer can actually perform better than a regular computer. As a matter of fact, they've got one at Harvard
Like a million
that can
times
do.
faster, right?
Yeah.
Uncle Bell.
It can do in 3 minutes what would take a traditional computer 10,000 years to do.
Oh.
And
All
that's
right,
why
so-
we've got computers talking to each other right now.
We'll file this under the definition of a PSA, but this article says such a simple thing to do, why positioning COVID-19 patients on their stomachs can save lives. And this is talking about people who are in the deep end of the coronavirus infection. All right, so this is from CNN, and on Friday, Dr. Mangala Narishiman received an urgent call, a man in his 40s with COVID-19
Dude, when they said people sleeping on their stomachs, I thought for
was
sure
in
they
dire
were gonna say
situation,
something
and her
about ass
colleague
to
wanted
mouth.
her to come up to intensive care unit at Long Island Jewish Hospital to see if she needed to be put on life support. Before I came over there, Narishiman told the other doctor, try turning the patient over onto his stomach and see if that helps. Narishiman didn't need to go to the ICU, the flip worked. Doctors are finding that placing the sickest coronavirus patients on their stomachs, called prone positioning, helps increase the amount of oxygen that's getting to their lungs. We're saving lives with this one, 100%, said Narishiman, the regional director for critical care at whatever. Okay, and I'll stop reading it there. But the point of this and the idea that I want to make sure that everybody gets out of this is there might be a lot of people at home, going through the COVID-19 virus, whatever, and they're not in intensive care. They're not in the hospital.
Right.
If you really gasping for air,
you know what?
because this is a respiratory disease.
Right.
PSA.
Lay on your stomach. If you're at home alone, there might be a lot of people home alone. They don't know.
Yeah.
So
Dude, the reason why they want you to lay on your stomach because it's easier to get fucked in the ass after
I was
you
gonna
die.
say that may not
And
be a
before
good
you go
thing for
cold.
you
right,
living with Austin.
right.
But
anyway,
anyone else, PSA.
No, seriously, public service announcement. If you are in deep throes of this, lay on your stomach. It could save your life. I
Or
don't
get
know.
on all
I don't
fours.
know.
I think that would probably work too.
Yeah,
It could.
right.
Yeah.
Did you see Bill Burr's take on this coronavirus? How we're going to look at this going forward?
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
Well, Bill
Is it-
Burr is
is it
definitely
just
brilliant.
audio or is it-
Brilliant.
No, it's video.
It's a still picture of
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's not worth it.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Everybody here who doesn't die or go bankrupt or starve to death is going to look back someday fondly. Remember when we all got 2 months off? Wasn't that fucking great? Fucking hanging out, all the babies that are going to be born. A lot of divorces too, but who's kidding? A lot of fucking babies. There'll be another baby boom here. A bunch of little fucking babies running around after all of this. Just what we need, more people. But I'm just saying. All right, don't miss out on this pandemic. Make sure you remember to enjoy it, because what's going to happen is what everybody wants. Like, God, I got to get out of this house and go back to what? What are you going back to? Your fucking job? Sitting in fucking traffic?
All right.
What percentage of people?
That's enough of it.
Right?
You know
But,
what? Though? You made some good points.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill Burr is a fucking genius as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he said like 10 years from now, it's like we're going to be thinking about the coronavirus. It's like, oh, remember when everybody fucking got 2 months off and fucking just drank rum and fucking watched Game of Thrones?
I mean, there's a lot of anxiety around, like just thinking
Wow.
about like getting sick and like not having money coming in and all that shit.
You know
But
what? Stay away from the news. I was getting symptoms just by watching them 10
And like I
hours a day
say,
on the news.
we're doing all right, but there are people out there that aren't.
I'm sorry,
And for
man.
those people, we're our heart goes out to you, and
Right.
we hope that you guys get through this time the best that we can.
Right.
But one thing he did mention, and I think we alluded to with our quarantine babies as well, is I just blew my mind. I'll bet you $20 that there'll be more babies born than more casualties.
Right, the Earth has repaired itself.
That is a fucking interesting idea that he just brought up. Like,
Yeah.
will we lose more people to the coronavirus, or will
We're
more
up to, like-
babies be born?
we're up
And I
to-
think we have to take like the amount of babies born as per the normal, right?
Yeah.
So you would
Yeah.
say if there's, I don't know, 100 babies, which is ridiculous.
Holy
Placing
shit.
100 babies. But how many more babies will be born than 100? Will it be 200? Will it
Yeah.
be 2
Well, I think
You would
we're at
have
like
to take
12,000.
the average and then
Holy
what's
shit,
higher
this is
than
the
the
error
average.
correcting code.
And my
Maybe it is.
And,
Yeah,
and my
maybe it
thing
is.
too is with that, and he also was talking about marriages and divorces. And by the way,
He joked about the divorces. 'cause
Any
I think he's
people
going
that's
through one.
going through hard times like that too, because that's the other side of the coin. There's
Right.
some people are locked up with assholes, and we apologize
Right.
for that. You
Yeah,
know.
that sucks. But
Yeah,
that's
my
a situation
brother's
you got
cool.
yourself into.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you guys can get through that. And,
hurting my
we wish the best for everybody.
Mindy Sue says not everyone has 2 months off. True. Mindy Sue's still at work and she's at home, but she's working from home. But
Thank you.
Right. Be thankful that you can do that, right? And
Yeah.
I know you are, Mindy. I'm not saying that you're not, but
Dude, you know what? I think when you're actually when your
That's
coworker
nuts.
when your coworker's a golden lab and a pug, I don't know if you can actually call that actual work.
it's a black lab.
Oh, I thought summer was golden.
Is that African American lab?
Black.
Oh, my
it's
bad,
black.
Mindy.
It's black.
But no, it's
Black
like
labs matter.
Black labs do matter.
I know they do, and so do pugs. But it
Pugs?
just looks like she's having a lot of fun
Pug
like, hanging
you.
out with her dogs and her
I
Well,
like bugs.
and her son.
She doesn't like the routine of staying at home all the time, and
Yeah.
she's been like
Kind of stir
killing
crazy.
it with her steps, like 6 miles a day, like
Yeah.
going for walks. There's
Good for you, Mindy Sue.
And she's gonna come over after the podcast because I bought her some bacon at Sam's, and I'm gonna give her the bacon. And
Giving her the old bacon, huh?
I
heard
hope it's
that.
thick cut.
oh, it is.
Oh yeah.
Good for
it
you.
is.
Dude, play this.
Pepper.
This is genius.
Pepper.
Chocolate lab. Oh yeah, she's brown, not black.
Oh,
Dude.
see, I was.
I
more
thought
correct.
I thought she was golden or brown.
golden
Well,
brown.
I'm saying I'm a lot closer.
No.
All right, so this
How
is
is that possible?
So like,
oh, hold on.
Black
that's
and
possible
chocolate
I'm
is
always
close.
right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So this is
Okay, we were both wrong.
Kyle Dunnigan, who I don't know like how this guy isn't a household name yet, but he's been doing these face-offs videos. And by the way, his stand-up was pretty good too. I'm gonna have to start watching that.
I've been doing face-on videos. I've been just putting my face on things.
All right.
It's just
What's
crazy.
up, James Hasty?
What up, Jake?
The elephant documentary that I videoed for Disney got good ratings, and they were like, Meghan Markle, can you do another one? And I was like, yeah, if I can write it, because the last one was cheesy as fuck.
Megan,
What?
I forgot.
Bye!
Uh,
Sorry. Anyway, I have a couple of clips I want to show you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Tonka thought her boyfriend was showing off in front of her, but then he was all like, here, eat some tree salad. And she's like, fuck you think I'm fat? Go fuck yourself, asshole. Oh yeah, you guys should know that elephants are a matriarchy, which means everyone respects the eldest female, which is what we should do.
Megan, I remember. Queen Mom wants to know if we're coming home for Easter.
Oh, tell her to eat my asshole?
Oh.
Yeah, eat my asshole, bye,
Oh.
eat my asshole, bye. Alright, here's another clip.
They dropped
Looks
out.
like
didn't
Tonka's
they?
dick
They
boyfriend
dropped
got
out
her to
that-
shame eat tree salad. Oh no,
Yeah,
her fat
family.
daughter's gonna think this is normal. Oh, another cool thing about elephants is even though they're fat as fuck and have huge noses, they don't kill themselves because of it.
Megan,
Well, I miss you too,
I
James
forgot.
Hasty.
What am I
Joe
supposed
Gray
to
is
tell
watching.
Queen Mom
What's
again?
up, Joe
Get a pen and
Gray?
write this down, okay?
Marconi winner.
Eat
Eat
my
my
asshole.
Asshole.
Love Megan.
All right. I don't know. I just think that guy is hilarious.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
They probably didn't transfer.
Dude, when I was watching was it Bill Burr? I was actually seeing that guy doing him instead of him doing
oh,
himself.
Bill Maurer.
Bill Maurer, yeah, Bill Maurer.
Yeah,
of
he
course.
does. He does an awesome
Yeah.
Bill Maurer. Like he out Bill Maurer's Bill
But
Maurer.
no, dude, respect to Bill Maurer for saying it's like don't be jumping on Trump for calling it a China virus because I mean that's
What
exactly what
exactly
it
is
is.
the culinary value of eating it while it's alive?
What is that?
That's a video of a girl eating live squid.
Oh, okay.
I was
Why are
watching
you gonna
before
eat
the
my
podcast.
asshole?
Yeah.
Just eat my ass. I'm sorry, and I apologize if anybody gets offended, but There is nothing funnier than a homosexual accent or what people would perceive to be a homosexual
Well,
accent.
you know what? I don't think that's politically correct anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Stephen.
It may not be, but I was trying to
You're
use
gonna have to
quotation.
do better than that, Stephen.
Well, I tell you what, I was doing the best I can. That's all I could do.
All right, I'm not gonna partake in this.
Yeah, dude.
gay
It's
slang.
like we're fucking done. Hey.
Yeah. I'm not falling for. I'm not
Oh
falling.
my
for
God! Why not, MJ?
This is
I'm
our
just not
last
gonna do it, Steve.
podcast. Thank you for watching.
I'm just not. Okay.
I'm apologizing.
I'm just not. This is not how I roll. I will
Well,
not do that.
You know,
Stephen.
David Allen Greer and Damon Wayans made millions of dollars doing it.
That's true. Two snaps, a twist, and a kiss.
And times were a lot simpler back then. Live in
Right.
color times. That's what I
Yeah.
call that. Live in color. Days of live in color.
Yeah. I would call it the Eddie Murphy era.
That's a little
You know who like.
post. That's post Eddie Murphy era. When you call it live in color, post Eddie Murphy.
But Eddie Murphy, it's like, dude, it's like, I remember using that F word like every 1,000 times a day.
Well, you remember Eddie Murphy? He kept moving so that the gay people couldn't see him on
Yeah,
stage.
because my ass get hot.
He knows because my butt get hot.
So, but yeah, that was hilarious. Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy.
That era,
times
when we
were
were
simple.
watching Raw and Delirious. I mean, for the time, that was some of the funniest stuff ever. But
Cutting edge.
couldn't do it. You couldn't do it today.
Couldn't do it today, no. I mean, it just wouldn't be funny anymore.
But that
Oh,
no,
it'd still
I
be
think
funny.
it'd still be funny. But that's when we got to go back to comedy is flipping comedy, and
Right.
and what we were talking about with racism is you simply perpetuate racism by bringing it up all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, you know, just like if you really look at yourself, it's best to laugh at yourself, you know, than to let the idiots.
What if it's your race? What if it's your heritage that's dying in extreme numbers because of poverty and not being respected by the government?
My race
I
chased
hope
all
I
the
said that
snakes
right.
off the.
Derailed.
Yeah.
You know what? I hope I said that right. I'm just saying it's like, you know what? It's like
St. Patrick chased all the snakes out of Ireland, so you know.
it's like when you got people that are black or Hispanic that are dying in more proportion than to white people. It's like we need to take a look at it. We need to fix that.
Well, I don't
obviously.
think that's
We need
actually.
everybody to die in an equal amount.
I don't think that's genetically the reason, though. I think it has a lot more to do with area and location and how people actually live. You know.
Let the man race bait, Steve.
Well, that's like they're talking about in other countries, you know, where like here it's wash your hands, do this. Well, not everybody has running water and soap available.
Right.
Right.
You know.
So Purell.
Dude, you guys are the ones that are trying to get everybody to fucking die on their stomachs.
I'm not. I think stomach's all right though.
Yeah.
Hey, if it saves lives, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. But
It's-
seriously, those people that don't have hot soap and water, just use Purell.
And if you don't have
Or if-
Purell, just lick your hands clean.
Most preferably Astroglide though works best. I
Right.
found.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. If you use your partner's ass as a hand warmer, that's sterilization. That's considered sterilization.
Astroglide.
It can be.
Get the oil-based stuff. I think it lasts longer, and you can just like spit on your hand every once in a while and just lube back up.
Yeah, and you can order it off Amazon and have it tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Speaking of, I've seen an Amazon
this last segment has
employee.
been brought to you by Astroglide.
I seen an Amazon employee and he was on the news, and I think he kind of took the news people off guard because he's like, you know, he's like, we're sitting here working. He's like, and I get it, you know, people that need necessities. He's like, dildos are not a necessity. Dildos are not a necessity.
What does
Mindy
that have
Sue?
Steve, what does that have to do with Astroglide?
Well, it has a lot to do. I hope that you use the two together. I mean, I know you'd be dry.
Oh,
humping
of
a lot.
course. I get the segment now.
I've got this article that just says artificial intelligence is evolving all by itself. And I don't know if I should read the article because I need to switch glasses, or if I should just like leave that there. Like that should be terrifying enough, right?
It is terrifying.
Yeah. Well, you know, I like I said, I watched this. I think it was a Vox video. I'll post it later to the Moon Club page. But
Oh, you should start doing that more often. Telling people like, hey, there's going to be a link in the bio, like down below this video that you can go
Right.
check out.
right, it was
thought
a
you were
Vox
talking
video.
about
And it was
nipple
about
clamps.
quantum supremacy. And you know what? I don't know what you just said right now, Steve. I've had a little bit to drink, but
I thought he was going to talk about nipple clamps. Is what he was talking about. You should do that more often.
yeah, dude, I'm coming around to that. But I'm starting with quantum supremacy, and I'm ended up with nipple clamps. So
That's
check
the
this
way
out.
You should always end
You know
up
what?
with
We
nipple clamps.
thought quantum supremacy was like 10 years out, and it's like we reached it this year to where quantum computers are actually performing like a million times better.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there.
He's on that quantum computer thing.
And anyway, it's like, dude, it's like, no, it'll make sense. I hopped on the quantum computer and I was looking for
Quantum
a specific pair of nipple clamps that I had not been able to find, and I couldn't find them on Amazon. I couldn't find them at Risky's, and the quantum computer
I'm
found the
giving you
nipple
20
clamps
more
for
seconds.
me. They were delivered yesterday, and I'm really enjoying them.
Is it a Risky's or Risqués?
I think it's Risqués.
I believe it's Risqués.
But
dude, you know
what?
what?
We've always called it Risky's since when we worked at Papa John's up the street.
Risky Biscuits?
No, dude.
Like, hey, down there at Risky's.
I started calling it Risky's when I had some sorority girls.
Oh,
in
it's
my
risky
cab.
going in there.
I know, dude. Check this out. I
Well,
had
it's
some
more Risky's. Get
Just,
spotted
okay,
coming
it's
out.
like let me have 1 minute. Let me have 1 minute. I picked up.
We've already given you.
I picked up some cute sorority girls.
This is derailed.
I picked up some cute sorority girls. And it's
yeah.
Like, dude, you know what? It's like they were drunk and they loved to fuck with the cab driver. And one of the girls asked me, this cute blonde girl, she goes, "Hey, cab driver," she goes, "Can you get drunk from a blowjob?" And I said, "Only if you straddle your face and spit it in your crotch." And dude, it's like I was on my way taking them to Risky's because they wanted to go in there and see it. And the only reason I still call it Risky's is because they're like, "Take us to Risky's." And I was like, all right.
And Austin's like,
that's like a minute of my life I'm never gonna get back.
Yeah, we're not getting that back.
That's
but
a great
the thing
story,
about
though.
it is,
I need to refine it. I'll polish it up.
And
Yeah,
if there's
get
some,
it down to like a 12-second version.
Yeah.
if there's some
Gentlemen,
college girls
this
out
next
there that feel
performer
like they were
is
violated a night by a cab driver going to Risky's, we
This-
might want to talk to
Well,
them.
you know what? This girl's
I
still my
don't-
friend, so I
I
can
don't
verify
know if
that
this will be
story.
a good thing to follow up that story with, but this is really funny because
Is that Michael Jackson?
no, it's Bert Kreischer and Whitney Cummings, and they're
Cummings.
Bert Kreischer is getting ready to interview Adam Sandler like remotely, and like if you know Bert Kreischer, he talks about like he's like a huge Adam Sandler fan, so
Who is it?
he completely geeks out.
Does the
and-
impression, don't he?
No, he doesn't do the impression, but he makes Adam Sandler mad, and at the end, Adam Sandler like
Are you serious?
he refuses to answer a question, and then but I think after this, like so many people hit Adam Sandler up saying, "Hey, look, man, that he wasn't being disrespectful. He's just such a fan that he kind of like came off like a jerk." So Adam Sandler actually like called him up and apologized to him and like tweeted out that you should go watch this guy's special. It's just, I don't know. I just love it. But
Well, that's cool. That's
he
cool.
is like Bert is such a genuine person, and
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
comes
he's
off
very
as like he's like trolling the guy, but he wasn't at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next comedian is one of my comedic heroes. He is the reason I do stand-up. He is the reason I've been writing movies that have never been made, but I love his movies. I love everything about this guy. Without further ado, the guy that defined all our personalities, Adam Sandler.
Oh my God, that was unbelievable. Thank you.
Adam, have you ever heard of Bert? He doesn't think you know who he is.
I've seen Bert, right?
Got it. That's all I need. That's all I need.
I've seen you. Have I seen you around a comedy club or something, or I've seen you on TV?
I'm the one guy with his... hold on.
You got 6 feet.
I'm the one guy. Carlos, you want to hear a cool story, Adam, real quick?
Yeah, tell me.
Back in 1995, you did a show at Powwow at Florida State. Do you remember that?
Sure.
You hung out and ended up smoking weed with a bunch of girls. One of the girls I was dating at the time, she came to my place. We were throwing a party, and she was like, "You need to leave this place right now and come with us." And I was like, "No, not going to happen." And she was like, "Shut up and leave right now." The next morning, she called me. She goes, "You dickhead, you could have partied with Adam Sandler." Bro, I have regretted that every fucking day of my life.
Tonight's our night, buddy.
Tonight's our night. How old are your kids?
I got 11 and 13.
13 and 15. I'm teaching my 13-year-old how to be a pickpocket. That's all I got.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You and Fagan are going out and getting what you got.
My youngest gets me every night. She's like, one more movie.
I know.
The other night she goes, "Let's watch Dark Water." I go, "Dark Water? The one about DuPont's flooding the... Are you serious?" She goes, "It's a thriller, Dad. We'll get into it." Yeah. We're gonna watch your movie, Precious Gems, soon.
Precious gems. It's uncut
yeah.
gems.
I don't know if they're gonna like it.
We're gonna watch your movie, Precious Gems, soon. Yeah. I showed them Happy Madison. Happy Madison. You know, and like not every movie translates. They watch Ace Ventura, and both my girls go, "Are we laughing because he's special needs?" I go, "No, that's not the joke, guys." We watched Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore fucking destroyed in my house.
Yeah, good. Thanks, man. I know fucking Ace destroyed in my house, to be honest. My kids love Carrie more than they love anybody. And then
the movie's really good. You have Netflix?
Yes.
Check out Hey Big Boy streaming right now. It's my new hour special.
Oh yeah, all right. I'll check it out. I'll check it out late tonight, buddy. You know what else? You know what's going over good that my kids just started watching last night? The Wonder Years.
I got a great. So Fred Savage goes to my kids' school when they're very young, right? And he's a great fucking dad. He's a great dad. He's down there playing with the kids, and all the moms, you know how they do it around celebrities. All the moms are like, "Oh my God, Fred Savage is the greatest dad." I'm a broke comic, and I go, "That's pretty crazy considering who his dad is." And they're like, "Wait, who's his dad?" I go, "Randy Macho Man Savage." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." I didn't play well with Fred.
Can I talk? Will you talk for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that sexual wife?
So what happens?
No, that's Whitney Cummings.
She's getting it right now.
No,
This was on
I
her
just when you
podcast.
text it. So, oh, sorry. Fuck.
Oh, you didn't get that was a quickie.
Hold on.
Bert?
By the way, like it's a respiratory disease, so like the fact that they're like going up to the computer and then like breathing and then going away from the computer and then back, like
touching it.
You may as well not even stay 6 feet
You're
apart.
fucking it up.
But anyway, this is getting really good. Like right here, it's all gonna go off the rails really soon.
Faster than I thought he would be. That was unbelievable.
You should see me have sex. It's like a rodeo. Just 6 seconds.
You got that quick
That
twitch.
Whitney Cummings sounds like a porn
So when
star.
you
Hey, I had a question I wanted to ask. If you could go back to one movie that was the funnest to shoot, doesn't matter what movie, just go back and have that be your set every day for the rest of your life, your Groundhog's Day, like we're all living. What movie was the funnest to shoot that you would shoot every single day for the rest of your life? Go ahead.
No answer for that. I got no idea. I never thought about that. I never will. And I hated that question. What else?
It would be Groundhog Day.
That's what it's gonna be like Bird all night long when we talk.
the chance to be friends with Adam and you're fucking blowing it.
No, you ruined it,
James
man. I
Hasty
don't
says
ever
you
want
guys
to
are
see
killing
you
me
again.
tonight.
That's okay.
That's what's not going to be watching Hey Big Boy tonight.
Oh, I will. I'll watch that, but that's it.
All right.
And
It was so nice of you and Bert to show people struggling.
Anyway, that was kind of a long way of like watching it, but so what happened was Adam Sandler I think he got a little pissed off during the interview. He didn't really know who Bert was, and like he kept saying the names of his movies wrong and everything. But like, I think so many people like started like tweeting him or texting him, whatever. He's like, hey, no, Bert was really just a fan. Like he was just so geeked out.
He's a fanboy, yeah.
So yeah, like Adam Sandler like tweeted out, hey, go watch this guy's special.
Yeah, you know, because if you watch Bert, it's like, and if you've seen a lot of his original stand-up, it's like, dude, he will sometimes laugh and cry so hard at his own comedy that, dude, that's like the definition of empathy, wouldn't you say?
Well, he's finding himself funny. You really know it.
He's totally feeling the emotions that he's expressing.
It's true, and I think he's just so ADD. Like he is who he is, and he's unique.
Isn't part of his genius though the way he laughs and cries at his own stuff?
You know.
No, man, you laugh at your own shit.
Yeah.
One thing I found from this whole COVID-19 thing is that all these people, and a lot of them are idols, and a lot of them are stars, people we look up to. And I'm not just the only person that feels this way, but we are so sick of these videos about these people telling us to stay at home when we're in like 1-bedroom apartments and 1-room houses.
Yeah.
And these people have freaking mansions. Like, for example, Tracy Morgan, that guy lives crazy.
I'm going to get this whole room pregnant.
I'm going to get this whole room pregnant.
Dude,
Tracy Morgan.
Dude, I've
That's how you get out of paying a chick.
Dude, I've got it really, really rough because I'm in the fucking loft of dreams.
Well, like I said, we do have it better than some, but
fuck, dude, I can't
you
really
get
complain,
all
can
these
I?
stars that, you know, they got bowling alleys, they got basketball courts, tennis courts,
right?
They got grounds.
Don't go outside.
Acres
Well,
and
fuck you.
acres of
You know
freaking.
what? I don't know if I want a bowling alley. Well, actually, I would take.
You know,
one.
here
Somebody's
in
giving one away.
suburbia and stuff, we'd be lucky if our houses are 6 feet apart. You know, and
That's
and
a good point, though.
and
Like,
they
the
got-
whole idea of not being able to go outside really depends on where you're fucking at.
where
right?
you're located, yeah, and
Right.
and how you're spending your COV-19, and if you got the means, and I don't begrudge these people. I used to get pissed off watching lifestyles of the rich and famous as well. You
With
know,
Robin
it's
Leach.
like, yeah, it's just crazy. These people have so much money,
This is a palatial mansion. It's 214 stories high,
and they're throwing it in your face.
And the iron gates are built out of solid gold. God just built it. We don't know why.
We don't know why.
I'm not
I'm
mad at
Robin
people
Leach.
I'm not mad at people for having cool shit.
No, I'm not
mad
mad.
either. But the point is,
Look, I got
throwing
a
it
cool
in my
dog.
face is
the
a
idea of
different story.
stay inside, like, it's not a big deal. Really depends on where your inside is, right?
Yeah.
And it's all
not bad up here.
self-quarantining too.
Like,
no,
it could be better. Like, I'm not uncomfortable up here.
No, it's
I
fucking
mean,
beautiful.
We got my brother and his fucking big ass fucking dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are, again, like we said, we're doing better than some people. Some people's
We're
reality
doing probably
isn't
better than
this,
90%
you know what
of
I mean?
people.
Yeah.
And with that being said, it's these videos that you see online, and it's all day long, and you can't begrudge the
I
people,
stopped watching them.
but you don't
I
like
stopped
it
watching
thrown
them.
in your face all the time. It's like it's a lot easier for you. I mean, like.
Right. Just don't go outside.
Yeah.
What's so hard about that?
Don't go
Yeah.
outside. Don't do ass to mouth, and you're fucking home free.
Well,
in
after
like
I
30
do,
days, if you can
derail,
if you
After
can do that for fucking 30 days,
You know, this ass to mouth thing is really breaking Austin up, and I think
dude,
it's really putting a crimp in
it's
his
part
lifestyle.
of it's part of a drinking a game that I've created for the
I think it's a lifestyle.
for the lunatics. It's a drinking game that I've created for the lunatics. Every time I say ass to mouth.
All right, so we know Saturday
it's
Night Live was
Except
virtual
for that
this
one.
week,
That one didn't
and
count.
It counted.
there was, I think, at least one good skit. There was a couple good skits. There were more misses than hits.
There ain't been no good skits since Eddie Murphy left.
Look at my big ass dog.
But they did do this Zoom call,
See,
and
pet
it's
my
kind of
dog.
funny. I won't play much of this because I think we'll get pulled pretty quick. But I'll play maybe 20 seconds of it, and I think we'll be all right.
Oh, you think
Saturday
this?
Night Live
Yeah,
ain't
my
been
dogs
funny.
are so happy right now. I take them on like 12 walks
That's great.
a
So
day.
this is gonna do it.
Does
Not the
anyone
ass
else
to mouth
really hate their
fucking mentioned
kids?
20 times.
And for me, it's been really.
We all know that one person in the Zoom call,
voice,
right?
I think are the
Yeah.
funniest.
Nah.
Okay.
Mine is
Listen,
usually my belly
isn't-
button.
Yes, and I recorded my own commentary for A Dog's Purpose.
All right, I'm done with that.
Yeah, dude, that looks like a Bukkake film.
Saturday Night Live has not been funny since Bill Murray.
I kind of enjoyed the
The Eddie
the
Murphy
last
years.
one. No, the last Saturday Night Live. Like, it wasn't
Really? I thought-
there was a few stinkers in it for sure.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the fact that they're really trying to put something funny out there. Like the Weekend Update, that could have been a serious career risk for Michael Che and Colin Jost because they did it without a laugh. Well, they kind of invited other people, so other people were laughing. But man, if that would have went bad, people would have been, they could have really been compromised there. Like, these guys aren't funny.
But that's
Right.
pretty much a staple, though. And in the world today, if you can't laugh at the news,
Well, and I think, honestly, Colin Jost and Michael Che are fucking hysterical. And
So-
together, they're even better. Like, when they do, the joke swap,
no
when
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
they make one another read each other's jokes, that's just fucking genius, right?
no Colin
So,
Farrell.
do you guys think? And I know we've had a conversation about this, but do you guys think that
Yes, it's 7.5 inches.
this is going to be the way of education? It's like we're probably not going to be letting our kids sit around other biological hazardous.
How about the handshake? Do we ever go back to the handshake?
Do we ever go back to the
Maybe
handshake?
we'll go to the bow. Maybe we'll go to the chicken wing thing. But I don't think-
Bookstores, how about bookstores are done 10 years from now? It's like no more book. Are you going to pick up a book that could be compromised by biological material?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, and it's not because I feel impervious or that I don't fear the COV-19, but shout out to Bart Alexander at Alexander's Collision.
What's up,
I
Bart?
seen my brother today,
Good friend.
and I gave him a hug.
What's
and,
up, Brenda Valentine?
And
Wait, you gave somebody a hug today?
Yeah.
And Kazuki
and
O.
I pulled him in tight.
Marlo.
We did the handshake.
I hope you're kidding, man.
And then-
Because
no,
if you're
no.
out there hugging people, I shouldn't have you in my house.
No. Well, we've been quarantined.
They didn't spit in your mouth or fucking
No,
go
no.
ass to mouth, did you?
No, and
'Cause, dude, that's another thing. It's like
and
no more spitting
before
in the mouth.
and after I did wash myself. I got MJ paranoid now.
Right.
I go to the store too.
He looks a
MJ.
bit nervous.
But I have worn my mask the last time I did go
Hit
to
some
the
of
store.
that fucking Perel.
Oh, I did that twice.
Take a bath in that shit.
Well, I took a clean shower.
Can
and
you
like I
squirt
said,
some of that shit in your mouth, please?
Well, I did that as well, but it's alcohol, so we're all good, right?
Yeah. Dude,
But-
you know what?
but
If
you
you
know what
are
I mean,
going
I mean-
ass to mouth, fucking dude, just use some fucking hand sanitizer.
All right, so let me finish up a few things.
I know
here.
it's not
Like,
dick
this
sanitizer, but
this is the same guy we were talking about earlier, and this is another scene in Ozark where he kind of like shows that he's freaking out.
Yeah.
dude, is it safe to go ass to mouth with hand sanitizer?
You wanna know what a piece of shit your mother is, Aaron?
He's so emotional on this scene.
I think it's all right with the spermicidal lubricant. I think if it kills sperm, it'll kill.
See,
And
that's
I don't want to play
disgusting.
too much of that because that'll probably get us kicked off too.
No, it's fair use. It's fair use.
Oh, it might not be. And then let's go out on Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer freestyle. They call it freestyle rapping, but Bert's got everything written down.
Yeah. So that's that's
Bert starts rapping, and then like he gives his raps to Tom, and Tom starts doing it, and it's not good, but it is funny.
But you know
I
what?
think it is funny.
As a serious freestyle rapper, it's like you can't take this shit serious because I know you want to be a battle rapper, right?
Well, here's the thing. You just don't have shit written down, right?
Right,
That's
yeah.
not freestyling.
You
You can
flow.
have it. You can have it rehearsed. You can know what you want to say.
You know what? You gotta
can't
learn
have-
how to
you can't have
flow
it
like
written
Jay
down.
Jennings,
I
and it's
love
like
your spoken word video.
it's like
I
you know
always think
how to
about
do that.
Mine?
Yeah. No, not your personal spoken word, but the one that you showed on the podcast
MG,
a couple
you know,
months ago, where the dude just like lost it. He had all his rhymes wrote down in the book, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
did you want to freestyle off the top of your head?
Yeah, and he's just like,
I'm the best. I did it. But
no, that
alright.
guy blew him away. Yeah.
we're going out on this.
I'm ready to listen to you. I feel like I'm
These
at
microphones
the show.
look serious, dude.
Oh, and by the way, this is from the Two Bears, One Cave podcast, and these are my two favorite human beings in the world.
Right, this is
I just want to be in their inner circle of friends, right?
Dude, it's a spinoff from the Two Chicks, One Cup.
Yeah, whatever.
Next to us, that is. Yeah.
We'll go back and forth, right? Okay. Yeah. I'm the machine, and I'm with Big Tommy Buns. We do Two Bears, One Cave, have lots of fun. Sometimes we run trains on comedy. You don't know him, but you better know me. My name is Bert. I like to squirt. If you happen quick, it will not hurt. I like to do that, dip a jump, bam, rip, I'm the man. Go, Tommy, I'll pass the flow to you, and you pick it up like a penny and a Jew. Go.
I really enjoyed that.
Come on, here we go. His name,
I was like,
his
no,
name.
I'm definitely
Ready?
not doing that.
Here we go. Okay.
No.
He's Tom Segura. He's Allura.
Did he say a Jew picking up a penny?
Yeah,
he did.
You got it. That was awesome.
Okay.
Segura?
I think you have a
Hold on.
natural skill at this.
Tom's gonna start reading his raps again here in a minute, and this is where it gets priceless. And this is why we're gonna end on this.
Go ahead.
I have legit freestyle
You see how he's laughing so hard at his own shit?
I gotta find it.
Go ahead.
He's
Okay.
loving it more than anybody else.
Uh-huh.
That's what makes
Turn my
it
headphones
beautiful,
up, man. 47 years young, they call me the machine. Party
He's
hard
serious
at
about
night.
rap,
Big
though.
classic.
All right, but Bert just sent in the lyrics, and he's just rapping like what Bert had written, so he doesn't really know it. He's just reading it right
Okay,
now. Right?
but dude, hold on a second. It's like one thing I want to say before you go back. It's like we went and saw Tom Segura at the Chicago Theater. It was fucking beautiful, like 2,400 seats. But the entire time we were waiting there for an hour in the seats, he played like fucking rap from like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s.
Yeah, it was good
That's
stuff.
all we heard was
It was
fucking
good stuff.
classic rap. So Tom Segura
Old school
actually
Old
loves
school
rap music.
hip hop.
All right. Good.
Morning with the Mickey Mantle jeans. Hitting the road on the tour bus champ. Giving out chest stamps. Quit working for Travel Channel. Now it's 44 and I'm on my second sold out world tour.
There we go.
Body shots first, Birdie Boys second. Ending up in Moscow, St. Petersburg, checking. San Jose, Sacktown, and Bakersfield, taking off my shirt so you know I keep it real.
Oh yeah.
So the girls get pussy feels. Not racist, not even a little bit. I take that back. I'm not a fan of Inuits. Never met one, but I really want to. 3 months ago, I got drugged by a Jew. 2 kids, 3 dogs, and a cat. Full head of hair. Nah, that's just bullshit. I'm sweating so bad. Woo!
It's not gonna get any better than that.
Tell me you don't love
Peace
the
out.
line. Tell me you don't lie.
Oh shit!
Not racist, not even a little bit.
So that was he was singing to what Bert Kreischer had written.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fucking
That was the
brilliant,
best,
dude.
man.
That was some of the funniest shit I've heard like in a year.
Moon Club podcast out.
Although we shouldn't be poking fun at the Inuits.